Hello, students, and welcome to English class. I'm your English teacher, Mr. Oza, and it's time for us to work on classwork number 69. Now that we are done with our novel, The Kite Runner, it's time to start working on an essay, and we're going to start that essay process by reading a refugee packet. So before I go into the details of this assignment, let me just quickly go over some directions so that you know what to do before we get started. So first off, watch this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it's helpful. That's step one. Step two, you're going to read a document. Okay, there's a PDF linked in Google Classroom that you're going to read through. Once you're done with that, you're going to fill out a chart in your Google Doc. In that chart, it's going to ask you to write down 23 main ideas from the document. Now, don't stress out. I know 23 sounds like a lot, but I have actually labeled all 23 main ideas that I want you to find. And now it's just going to be your job to put them in your own words. They don't even have to be complete sentences, just kind of a note-taking vibe. All right, so you're going to see that chart in your Google Doc. And then once you're done noting all of those main ideas, you're going to pick 3 quotes that you would like to use in your essay. Now you've gone over, by this point, you've gone over 23 main ideas. Now you're just going to pick 3 that you would like to write more about. All right, so just 4 basic directions. I'm going to go over these 4 instructions at the end of the video one more time just to clarify. All right, so let's jump right in. Here in this picture, we see Baba and Amir and this kind of unknown woman here. This is when Baba and Amir from the Kite Runner are leaving Afghanistan. Okay, Amir and Baba have lived in Afghanistan their whole lives, and then the Soviets invade Afghanistan in the late 1970s and the early 1980s, and that changes their lives forever. Baba and Amir are actually lucky that they have enough money to pay smugglers to get them out of the country, all right? And when they leave Afghanistan, they become refugees, meaning that they are leaving their homeland to find safety. They're trying to find safety in another country. So what ends up happening to them is they cross the border from Afghanistan into Pakistan, where they are now refugees, and they wait until they can go to the United States, and they end up in Northern California. All right, so the topic of this essay is going to be basically how can we help refugees? There are a lot of refugees all over the world right now who are trying to leave their countries or have left their countries because of war and other reasons. And so we're going to write about how to help these people. So just kind of like a definition, to make it official. What exactly is a refugee? Generally speaking, a displaced person who has been forced to cross national boundaries, basically crossing a border either by land or by sea, and who cannot return home safely. So these are people who cannot return to their home. And there are millions upon millions of refugees all over the world. In the Middle East and North Africa, over 2.6 million. In Europe and North Asia, over 6 million. Sub-Saharan Africa, 6.2 million. In the Americas, almost 500,000, and in Asia and the Pacific, 4.1 million. So all over the world, there are millions and millions of people who are trying to leave their homelands in search for a better life, and they end up all over the world. So again, what can we do? What can governments do? What can militaries do to help these people out? Now, you might have heard of an organization called the United Nations. Well, the United Nations, or the UN specifically, has an organization called the UNHCR, which stands for United Nations High Commission for Refugees. And what they have done is they have created a document that you are going to read. And this document is a guide to international refugee protection and building state asylum systems. So what they have done is they have created a really, really long document. It's hundreds of pages long. You only have to read about 12 pages of it. And it's pretty easy reading. I think you'll actually find it interesting, simple, and to the point. But they have created this document where the goal is to give governments and militaries a guide on how they can help refugees, right? If you think about it, some countries might not be ready for refugees crossing their borders. They might be like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And refugees are like, yo, there's this crazy stuff going down in our country. We need help. The governments might not be ready for that kind of influx of people. So the UNHCR has created this document to try and prepare governments, prepare military, prepare leaders in different countries for what they should do when refugees enter their country. And here's just a look at the first page of this document. All right, so the way it's structured is, obviously you can read it word for word, but what I have done is I have created these little sections for you. See this section 1, section 2, section 3. These are what I think the most important ideas are. Again, I'm just a guy with, reading this just like you are. So I personally think that these areas are important. You might find other areas that are interesting. But again, I have made a list of kind of 23 main ideas that I think are important. So these are the areas where I think you should focus on. If you find other stuff that's interesting, then go for it. So what your job is, when you see each section, notice here we say sections 1, 2, 3. This is going to go all the way down to 23. In section 1, you're going to go back, you're going to read section 1, and you're going to find the main idea, and you're going to write it down here. Now, in this part of your document, you don't have to write in complete sentences. You don't have to spend too much time writing with proper grammar. This is just basically a note-taking vibe here. Got section 2, read that, figure out what the main idea is, take some notes here, and you're going to repeat the process. 23 main ideas, maybe it takes you, 2 minutes each. This is like a one class period type of thing. You can probably finish this within an hour. All right, I'm going to fill out all 23 main ideas. And you'll have a great idea how to help refugees after this. So considering this essay topic, what can governments, regular people, and militaries do to help refugees? All right, the answer to this question is all right here in this document. What can governments, militaries, and regular people do to help refugees? All right, that is your essay topic, and you've already got 23 answers if you look at your list of main ideas. So what you're going to do now is pick your 3 best ideas. Pick 3 quotes from the document, and this is a screenshot directly from your Google Doc. You're going to pick 3 quotes from the document that you would like to use in your essay. So let's say, you really like the idea from number 5. You wrote down a main idea. So on this page right here, you can say main idea 5, and then you're going to pull an exact quote from the document and put it in there. Make sure you put in a citation period after the citation. Let's say you go back and you're like, oh, I also really like number 2. That second one was really good. So you're going to put right here, main idea number 2, and then you're going to put in the exact quote from the document with a citation. All right, so pretty straightforward. Let's just go over the directions one more time before we start this assignment. Thank you again for watching this video. That step is done. You're going to read a document, right? That document created by the UNHCR. The document is made to help governments prepare for refugees entering their country. All right, once you read that document, you're going to fill out that chart with 23 main ideas. Again, it sounds like a lot, but it's not going to take that long, especially since you're just taking notes, right? You don't have to write a whole essay yet. That's just note-taking, doesn't have to be complete sentences, all right? And then once you're done with that chart, you're going to pick the 3 most interesting main ideas and grab those exact quotes from the document. So 4 easy steps. I feel like this is like a 1 hour, 1 class period type of thing. If you stay focused, you should be able to get this done in 1 class period. And of course, I'm always here if you need any help, if you need any assistance. I've read this document multiple times. I feel like it's a pretty well-written document. It's very student-friendly, and it's very interesting. It gives some really interesting ways that regular people, governments, and militaries can all help refugees. Remember, this is a really great project that we're doing. Refugees are people who need assistance. They're trying to escape some sort of violence in their homeland, and they're trying to seek a better life and get basically a fresh start. So how can we help these people get a fresh start in a new country? All right, that is our job here for this essay. If you need any help, please let me know. I really hope that this video was helpful for you. And as always, have a great class.